So as Lombardi herself astutely points out, there is no NFL offseason. That means that we talk about the 49ers from one of the most iconic viewpoints in the world, and it just so happens they're rookies. This 11-player draft class is headed to Santa Clara this week. Mykel Williams and Upton Stout are the two players who just posted some workout footage. Mykel Williams showing out some of the athleticism to go with the power. We know I was talking all about the power from Shaver Lake. Today I can talk about the athleticism here from Yosemite. And another guy who's really athletic, who I think has some power, is Upton Stout. Obviously a different position, but he had 21 bench press reps at the NFL Combine, which was the best number for all defensive backs at 5'8" and 181 pounds. So the 49ers have some strength with both of these draft picks. One is a first rounder in Mykel Williams. One is a third rounder in Upton Stout. Both of them are going to be present at the 49ers rookie mini camp coming up this weekend. It's going to be a two-day event, and it's a good way for these guys to get their feet wet. They undergo their initial physicals. None of these guys have signed their contracts yet, although the money is already slotted in by the rookie wage scale, but they're going to undergo their physicals. They are going to take the practice field. The 49ers are going to run them through how a 49ers practice works for the first time, and that's going to set the table for OTAs. They're also going to be on the field at the same time as a lot of tryouts, so that they get enough guys in on a tryout basis so that they could run a proper practice without the vets. The vets then are going to come in for OTAs, and we will be off and rolling. But Mykel Williams, super, super strong. We knew that, but I think the explosiveness, the way that he can take speed and that burst and combine it with the power, that's what pushes pockets back. And then Upton Stout, the way that he's able to take his agility, which you know that he has at 5'8", 180, he's a small guy, but the way he's able to take the agility and mesh it with power. And you can see the strength in some of the tape that we see from Upton Stout working out. You can see the dog in him, really. The way that he's able to combine those two things, well, that's why he can be a really good nickel back at this level. 49ers may have as many as 5 defensive starters come from this rookie class in 2025. That's a lot. The Rams only had 3 last year. So if you have as many as 5 this year, well, Upton Stout and Mykel Williams are going to be 2 of those guys. 5 would be a very, very aggressive number. Would be the 49ers, it'd be like seedlings for a beautiful defense, kind of like the beautiful view. This is the iconic tunnel view here at Yosemite. You come out of the tunnel because you're headed up 41 North, which turns into the south entrance into the park, and you could see everything, including Half Dome and Yosemite Falls, which is going nuts at this time of the year. A lot of snow melt from the Sierra Nevada. We haven't been talking about the offensive draft picks as much as the defensive guys, because the defense, that's where the 49ers are running their big renovation, their retooling effort. But on the offensive side of the ball, Jordan Watkins out of Ole Miss, you watch his tape, and he's more than just a 4.37 burner. He can actually run some routes. And it's interesting because Kyle Shanahan said, watching him at the Combine, they thought that he was the best route runner at the entire NFL Combine, going through some of the route running drills. Watkins took over a lot of games for Ole Miss. This is a guy that, I mean, you look at some of the game lines, 200 receiving yard games, stuff like that. He was not just the speed burner weapon that would stretch the defense with 4.37 speed. This is a guy with a full route tree. The 49ers really think that he could help immediately. I will say, though, one of the biggest weaknesses of this team that I've listed over the course of this whole offseason has been the lack of separation ability, especially last year during some of those injuries. And you can gain separation in a whole lot of different ways. But one of the ways that's, I think, really obvious is to be able to blow the top off of the defense with speed. And I think that Jordan Watkins can do exactly that. It's about floodgates for the 49ers, opening the pouring of points into the offense. And if the 49ers are able to do that in 2025, the defense is going to be in a lot better position to deliver for the football team. One more pick that I want to talk about is Jordan James, 5th round running back out of Oregon. We know how much success the 49ers have had with 5th round picks. Jordan James is one of them. Now, we also know they've had some success with undrafted free agent running backs. That's where Corey Kiner out of Cincinnati comes in. James and Kiner are very similar type of players. In that way, their athleticism is not going to blow anybody away. It's not going to be spectacular like Yosemite, where we're at right now, Vernal Falls and Yosemite, but they consistently get the job done. Jordan James was an absolute bulldozer for Oregon last year. He gained most of his yards between 10 and 20 yards downfield. He had only 3 yards of more than 20 yards, but he had only 3 runs of more than 20 yards. But that happy zone in the middle, because he didn't have all that much great burst, that happy zone in the middle was where he continually made hay. Somebody like Corey Kiner, same kind of thing. 84 forced missed tackles last season. That was a top 10 mark in the nation. So you have 2 running backs who know how to run the football for the 49ers, and they will consistently churn out yardage while also protecting the passer. And I think that Kyle Shanahan believes they can be good out of the backfield. Those are compliments to Christian McCaffrey and Isaac Guerendo as this team works to open those offensive floodgates. One more look at Vernal Falls and Yosemite. We're not going to make it all the way up to Nevada Falls. I think if the 49ers drafted a Nevada player, we might continue hiking up, but Lombardi herself is a little bit cold. Aren't you cold?
Just a bit.
On the way from Yosemite to San Francisco, Groveland in the foothills. One of the coolest towns there is, a gold rush town, so a 49er town, 1849. They've actually got the Iron Door Saloon, which is the oldest saloon in the state of California, allegedly. They've got 1852. They even have the historical artifact on the wall. And those iron doors at the Iron Door Saloon here, we can walk out onto the road. You can probably see the big iron doors behind me. Those iron doors were shipped over from England around the tip of South America. And at the time, because fire was such a big risk in this area, they said that those iron doors were so strong that if there was a fire, just hide inside the saloon and wait it out. So they're built different back in the day at the Iron Door Saloon. Now this town actually is very connected to the city of San Francisco. And you know, talk about Yosemite, there once was a second Yosemite Valley. Some argued that it was even more beautiful than the current Yosemite. It was called Hetch Hetchy. The city of San Francisco dammed it up, the Hetch Hetchy Water Project, and there are now pipes that take the water all the way back to the city. Back when that all was under construction, this town blew up. Groveland blew up. There were up to 7 hotels in this town, which is obviously inextricably now linked with San Francisco and the Bay Area because of the water.